Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our presentation on making things right. This is Mrs. Markowitz, and I'm the 8th grade school counselor.
Good morning, everyone. This is Miss B here, and I'm a restorative justice team lead. Welcome.
Good morning, Kia Murphy, the assistant principal for 6th grade. Whoop, whoop.
Good morning. This is Nicole Forth, Math 6, and one of the other restorative justice team leaders.
Good morning. This is Mrs. Allen, and I'm the 6th grade school counselor.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Miss Jones Black, 7th grade English, and one of the restorative justice team leads. Welcome.
So like Ms. Markowitz said, today we're going to be talking about making things right. So today students will be able to understand when harm is done and to build thinking skills about how to make things right. And all of the members of the class share the responsibility to treat each other with respect and make a positive classroom environment so everyone is able to learn. So let's check in. 1. What does it mean to cause harm? What are some examples of causing harm? 2. Have you ever caused someone harm? How did you know you had caused them harm? 3. What does it mean to make things right? And 4. What are some things you can do to make things right when you have caused harm? Teachers, please pause the video and discuss these questions and possible answers with your students.
Let's check out 2 scenarios that are examples of when harm has been caused. Scenario 1, Andrea. Andrea and Mark are in science class together. During class, Andrea and Mark are texting back and forth. They get into an argument. Andrea is super angry with Mark for something Mark did. In the middle of class, Andrea unmutes herself and curses Mark out in front of the entire class before the teacher can mute Andrea.
Questions to discuss in this scenario are, who was harmed in this scenario? Who did the harming? Describe the harm that occurred. And what do you think can be done to make things right? Teachers, please pause the video to discuss the questions and possible answers with your students.
Scenario 2. Miss Murray had multiple tabs open during her Zoom lesson for English. A Kahoot game, a slideshow, her students' current grades, and some other tabs. Miss Murray was sharing her screen with her students so they could see the slideshow she was presenting and participate in the Kahoot. As she was changing tabs to share the Kahoot, Miss Murray accidentally shared the tab that had her students' current grades up. Everyone could see everyone else's grade.
In this scenario, here are some possible questions to discuss. Who was harmed in this scenario? Who did the harming? Describe the harm that occurred. And what do you think could be done to make things right? Teachers, please pause the video to discuss the questions and possible answers with your students.
Now let's talk about a definition for making things right. We've discussed 2 scenarios in which the harm was done. We've discussed who was harmed and who did the harming. We've discussed our ideas of what the person who did the harm could do to make things right with the person who was harmed. Based on our discussion, let's come up with a definition of what it means to make things right. Teachers, please pause the video to discuss a definition. Guide students to understand that making things right means acknowledging the harm student or the adult caused, then find out from the one who did the harm what the person who caused the harm could do to repair it. Sometimes all that's needed is a sincere apology.
Okay, now this leads us to our checkout round. Number 1, how does making things right hold us responsible for the harm we caused? Number 2, how does repairing the harm help us respect one another and build relationships? Teachers, please pause the video to discuss the questions and possible answers. And have an awesome day. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care.